buckled up, Mo?
Buckled up, ready to roll.
So what are we riding in, Mama?
We're riding in a 1952 Chevrolet Bel Air Convertible. That was mine in high school. My brother bought it brand new in 1952 when he got out of the Korean War service. 1954 he wanted a Buick. So Daddy bought it, so Mom and I had some wheels to drive, and then I had it all through my high school years. We kept it here, we got married, Mom and Dad gave it to us. We drove it till, I think Michael, our third child, was young, and then we had to go to station wagons, 2 more children, so it had to sit for about 20 years until we got it all restored and everything. And our youngest son, Sean, was 13 when he tore it all apart and started up the top of our garage. And then in 2000, we started restoring it, and he was teaching at Seymour High School. Got the frame all fixed up for us, and brakes, we got it all painted, and just a little bit of time, and Daryl McIntyre did the body work for us, and some other people helped us along the way. The Lord's been blessing us with all these good little people and everybody that helped us. In 2002, we got her out and started driving her. Have had fun ever since. Miss Daisy. And one of these days, Sean and Dawn and his kids will have Miss Daisy.
Turn signal's on, Pop.
Everything original inside of her, motor and everything, transmission's all been redone. Everything is original, though, same steering wheel. Everything's the same. Same seats, just all been redone.
Pop, what's the house on the left?
That's my home place. That's where I was raised. 1948, we moved in that house. Lived there most all my life. Yep.
Went hunting in these areas?
All this property around here I used to hunt in as a kid. Every bit of it. Then the people sold it off. They got houses in it. Took care of my hunting. It's all gone now. That's all right. It's called progress. All progress. There used to be an old man living in this house here on my left. His name was Frank Ross. He was a barber. I'd walk down here at night, borrow his coon dog, and go hunting back there in them woods. Yep. His dog was a Gene, called Gene dog. The old man let me hunt with that dog. The only thing was I couldn't shoot a possum out of a tree. He didn't want him getting possums. He gave him to me one day. He told me I could have him. 2 weeks later, he came back, asked for forgiveness, took him back, and sold him to a guy for $500.
That's a lot of money back then.
It was a lot of money. I understood. Didn't bother me. Yep.
My original high school tassel. Graduated in 1957 from Wiley High School in Terre Haute, Indiana. It's kind of shredded, but it's still original.
Power steering. It takes all your power to turn it.
How's the horn?
Good horn. Good horn. This was all gravel when I was a kid. All gravel. Yep.
And there used to be a church on this road.
Down the road here was the St. John Lutheran Church. Yep. Yeah, Lutheran community out here. Some of it was. No houses along here at all. Nothing. No houses at all on this road when I was a kid. progress, though. Took care of it all.
Yeah, the church was up here on the right.
Yeah.
The cemetery is still there, of course.
Yeah. This graveyard here is St. John's. There was a church sitting there, Lutheran community. Yep. When churches leave the property like this and leave the cemeteries, then it's the responsibility of the township trustee to maintain them. So we have responsibility to maintain it and keep it looking nice.
Mm-hmm.
We have fun with Miss Daisy on Sunday going to church. Other evenings, other times we're busy a lot anymore, but a lot of times we go to car shows on Saturdays. We got a few nice awards with Miss Daisy.
Yep. Ice cream at Mussolini's.
Ice cream at Mussolini's.
We've been
Oh,
known-
that's right. And that's Mother's Day
That's
today
this
too.
weekend, yeah.
That's- Yep.
Mhm.
And Pop on our left is Camp Atterbury, and as a boy used to run those roads.
That's right. Go back in there and hike around and look around and stuff.
There was no fences up there.
No fences back then. Yeah.
Used to mushroom hunt a lot in
Mushroom
there.
hunt in there and deer hunt in there and get a permit and go in there and do a lot of things.
And what was your car as a boy?
Truck.
Well, my first one was a 1929 Model A pickup truck. But then when I got 18, I signed up for the Marine Corps. I sold it because Dad told me to clean up all my stuff and get it out of the house. He didn't want to mess while I was gone. So I sold it for $29. 29 or 30, something like that.
Yeah.
I was back home that night at 6 o'clock. I got rejected.
And you got in trouble one time as a teenager driving your sister to friends.
Yes, sir. We had a 1934 Chevrolet sedan. We were driving around here in Atterbury along the edge of the camp. Didn't have no driver's license, but the MP stopped us. They thought that I was trying to hustle my sister and her friend. Yeah, I had to assure them that we lived here and we weren't out doing something like that. Yep. I can't begin to tell you the number of cars that I've had since I was a young man. I remember a Studebaker, I remember a Pontiac, I remember the 34 Chevrolet, Model A, 53 Chevrolet, all those different cars I had.
And they were just cars back then.
They were just cars. The 34 Chevrolet was a little 6-cylinder, 4-door, suicide doors on it. It had a rod knocking. I jacked it up, put blocks under it, dropped the pan, took the rod caps off, filed them down, put brass shims back in it. My dad checked it, we put it back together and drove it. Yeah, just something else. Something else.
We had the 54 Olds when we got married.
Yep, we had a 54 Olds and 57
I
Chevrolet.
had a 57 Chevy.
Yep.
Sold the Oldsmobile because it got too much of a gas hog.
This house here on the right was been here ever since I was a kid. A guy named Elsie King used to own it. Yep. This was an old house here. Aaron Cook lived here, an old man. He lived there for years. Of course, they remodeled the house and made it fancy. None of these houses were here when I was a kid. Yep. This property on our right, my dad bought that for $100 an acre. He bought 80 acres for $100 an acre. And he bought this parcel of land along here. It was a 5-acre piece. When they surveyed it, they found out it was 8 acres. And he went back to the man he bought off of and gave me $300 extra. He wanted to be honest with the guy.
And you bought the land that this house is coming up on, you and Mom's place.
I bought it off of my dad for $200 an acre. This property here. I planted that big tree right there as a young man. So I've seen all this grow. All this. I'm going to take you down the road here a little bit. And we'll turn around and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you where Grandma and I are going to be buried. We got our burial plots here at this cemetery, this next one up here. My dad owned all this property along here, and he sold it for $300 an acre on contract. So he tripled his money, plus he got interest on the note, promissory note that he signed.
And all of them had to be 300, or 3 acre lots, 3 acres.
This little cemetery here is called Bethel Cemetery. Bethel Cemetery.
There used to be a little...
There used to be a church set right here to the left, right there. You can see the foundation of it. This is where Mom and I are going to be buried. We got 3 plots. We got Mom and I, and Patty's got 3 plots right here on this corner here. Lot number 27, 26, and 25, Patty and I and Mom's. And so that's where we're going to be buried. Yep, Bethel Cemetery.
Right down the road from the home place.
Yep. I'll turn around here, down here at this next road. Nobody coming, I don't think, Nancy. No. This is all Camp Atterbury on the left.
Which is nice to see. It's country and won't be other houses in
Don't be
there.
no houses in front of us. We hear big booms at night, though. In the daytime, Atterbury gets to bombing. It gets pretty loud.
No pictures straight on the wall,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
This is Ohio Ridge Road. Okie dokie. Ohio Ridge Road. 575 North is the numbers that's on it. Again, there's the cemetery. We're gonna be buried right here by where we live.
But you'll be living on in a different place.
That's right. We'll be in the promised land. Yep. We'll be with the Lord. That's for sure. Nancy and I have been here in this house for 56 years. We bought it off my dad and built our home. It cost us $33,000 to build this house and 4% interest. 33-year note, promissory note on it. And like I said, we've been here all of our married life. Raised 5 kids, 15 grandkids, and how many grandkids, Nancy? Great grandkids. 5 great grandkids. We're very blessed to have this place, this home. Very blessed.